With anxiety in today's world, I'm questioning everything. Spy balloons in the sky, thinking the world might just, fall off any minute. Constantly question everything. But the one thing I find myself always questioning the most is why in the F Philadelphia cream cheese won't bring back snack bars.
I know y'all know about these. I know. Look, I don't know what it is about these twisted puffs that they discontinued for whatever reason.
Okay, so who remembers Yogos? Literally one of the best snacks ever. Okay, who remembers this shit?
All seriousness, what happened to this drink? This was the best drink you can buy when I was in middle school. Man, you go get you some nachos and a Fruitopia. What happened? I ain't seen this drink in forever.
Welcome to A Wealth of Useless Knowledge, where we dive into some fun and entertaining topics. You're sure to learn something new here, and maybe even have a laugh or two. Now let's get into today's video. Remember that one snack back in the day that you just swore was the best thing ever? You enjoyed it nearly every day until one day it vanished. No warning, no heartfelt goodbye, not even a statement. It just vanished quietly into the ether like a character getting Thanos snapped out of existence. From fruity neon-colored drinks to crunchy sweet treats, there's several snacks that have been taken off store shelves back in the day. And in this video, we're peeling back the wrappers on some of the most beloved snacks of the 90s and 2000s that no longer exist. So grab your favorite snack and stay tuned. First on the list is Yogos. Now, if you were around back in the early 2000s, chances are you've seen or tried these.
A totally new kind of fruit-flavored snack, bursting with colorful, yogurty colors. Introducing new Yogos from Kellogg's, with a taste that's creamy on the outside, fruity chewy on the inside. New Yogos from Kellogg's, with a taste that's cooler in color. Now in the fruit snack aisle.
Yogos were launched back in 2005 by Kellogg's, and they were bite-sized balls of fruit-flavored chewy candy that was coated in a crunchy yogurt shell. Although they were pretty popular at their time of release, they stuck around on the market for a mere 5 years before being discontinued back in 2010. And although Kellogg's has never formally expressed a reason for the snack's departure, the internet has come up with a few theories. One of which being concerns of their high sugar content as a possible culprit, as a single serving of Yogos contained 15 grams of sugar, which, to put that into perspective, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 to 36 grams of added sugar per day as the upper limit for adults. Besides the high sugar content, it's also been reported that the manufacturing process to create Yogos was pretty extensive, let alone the work of keeping them from spoiling during travel. Regardless of the reason for their departure, one thing's for certain, people really miss them, and to this day, people are still trying to recreate copycat recipes. In addition, there's people over on TikTok who have been on the hunt for dupes of the product, and some were actually found, like Yogi's and Welch's Yogurt Bites, for anyone out there who are looking to relive the good old days of Yogos.
Okay, so who remembers Yogos? Literally one of the best snacks ever. Okay. Well, I think I found the 2023 version. These fruit and yogurt by Welch's. They're so good, and they're like way bigger than what the Yogos used to be. I found mine at Kroger, so run, don't walk.
Next on the list are Philadelphia cheesecake bars. These individually wrapped desserts were launched back in 1999 and flaunted a buttery graham cracker crust topped with a thick layer of cream cheese filling and a line of strawberry filling.
Cheesecake. What? This is heaven.
Treat yourself to the rich and creamy cheesecake taste of Philadelphia snack bars. They're a little taste of heaven.
In addition to strawberry, it also could be found in flavors like white chocolate raspberry, classic cream cheese, and even chocolate chip. As delicious as these were, though, they didn't stick around very long, as they were sadly discontinued about 5 years after their launch.
This is a snack that they really need to bring back. Those Philadelphia cheesecake bars. I know, right?
With anxiety in today's world, I'm questioning everything. Spy balloons in the sky, thinking the world might just, fall off any minute. Constantly questioning everything. But the one thing I find myself always question the most is why in the F Philadelphia cream cheese won't bring back snack bars.
It was snackable, portable cheesecake. It was the perfect remedy to what otherwise would be a shitty day. Yet, they took it away from us.
I truly don't understand. It blows my freaking mind. Don't companies want to make money? Isn't that the point?
I know y'all remember these.
I'll never understand why they stopped making these.
I think Philadelphia cream cheese could make more money in a week by bringing these bad boys back than they've made in years. And I will literally put that on my gravestone. I will stand by that statement forever. The flavors, the levels, it's superb. I mean, it just doesn't stop. You think the flavor's over and then you hit another type and another texture. That bottom texture, that last flavor you get, that oof, the crust, it's special. We want it back. Don't come at me with, oh, we've got the cream cheese cups. Nothing is like these freaking snack bars. Just bring them back. Make money. It'd be so fun for you guys, right? You could maybe give your employees more bonuses and make I don't know, humans that are just falling on the edge with anxiety, a little happiness. So just bring them back, Philadelphia cream cheese, okay? Okay, thanks.
Numerous petitions have been made online requesting them make a return. But it's been nearly 2 decades and they have yet to come back, even for a limited time. So it's not sure if they ever will. Fortunately though, for fans of this product, there's countless copycat recipes available online, so you can still make something yourself that tastes at least somewhat close. But as we all know, there's nothing really quite like the original. Now, if you weren't interested in grabbing a true snack at the store, but just wanted a pack of gum instead, then maybe a pack of bubble gum was more your speed. But not just any pack of gum, a gum that tasted like candy. Skittles bubble gum, to be exact.
Hey, is that Skittles bubblegum with all the different flavors?
Yep.
Can I have some?
Nope.
Skittles bubblegum. Inflate the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Skittles bubblegum was launched by Mars Wrigley back in 2004. That's right, y'all. Mars owns Wrigley, that same brand we know and love for their gum. So it only made sense that Mars would take their expertise in candy and combine it with their Wrigley division's expertise in gum to create a candy-coated gum that the masses would love, right? If you wish you could not only taste the rainbow, but also savor the flavor of your bag of Skittles for just a little bit longer, well now you could with this new gum. The box featured a mix of flavors like strawberry, orange, lemon, lime, and grape. And the product was a great idea in theory, but the execution fell short, as it was struggling to make sales. After the product had been out for 3 years, in 2006 it had a revamp, offering new flavors like blue raspberry, wild cherry, green apple, tangerine, and watermelon, but now under the name Skittles Gum Extreme. The makeover though still wasn't enough to keep the flavor-packed gum around, and it was unfortunately discontinued back in 2010, and it's yet to make a return since.
I truly feel like a lot of my trust issues stem from the fact that they got rid of Skittles bubblegum. And listen, if you never got the chance to experience Skittles bubblegum, I truly feel sorry for you because you're not going to understand what I'm saying. But for the people who know, it was like a rush of dopamine. Was it the best bubblegum? No, and it wasn't trying to be. But it was just like this candy that we love in a bubblegum form. Oh, my mouth is getting watery just thinking about it. It even had the audacity to introduce an extreme version of it. That was just so delectable. We had it good. Just seeing this little box opens up a realm of excitement in my mind. And it was here today, gone tomorrow. You have to understand. We went from one day just enjoying this, right? To the next day it was gone. I remember going into the store looking for it one day and just like, it's not here. I could get emotional talking about this. I'm already crying. It was not an easy thing to handle. Everybody's talking about what's your first heartbreak. This was my first heartbreak. I didn't understand what you mean discontinued. I never forget as a child, I tracked down every place that we can go and see where we could find this bubble gum. And shout out to my mother because she was a good sport. We went to all those places. And she didn't have the heart to tell me, Malik, it's just not here. We went to all those places and that's when I realized it's gone. If I knew in 2004 that was gonna be the last time I would have had a piece of Skittles bubblegum, I would have cherished that moment. That was when I realized it's a cold world out here. Get you a jacket and make sure it's Montclair. What I would do to taste them again.
No official statement was released. It was just silently removed from store shelves, leading people to speculate what happened. One thing's for certain though, during the 2000s, the awareness of the harm that too much sugar caused was definitely giving consumers pause. Several reports, specifically one with the business publication Quartz, have concluded that the chewing gum market was rapidly shifting toward more sugar-free options as consumers became more widely aware of the adverse health effects of sugar. In addition, adults were considered the main driver of the gum market, and surveys conducted through Statista found that when selecting gum, adults leaned more towards mint-flavored gums rather than fruit-flavored ones. And considering Skittles bubblegum was neither sugar-free or mint-flavored, it just didn't have what was required for it to make the cut. Beyond that, there were also concerns that the product didn't do enough to further distinguish itself from the original Skittles product, leaving consumers confused about the launch. A Change.org petition was made requesting for its return, but considering it's garnered less than 1,000 signatures over the last 8 years that it's been out, I think it's safe to say that the demand for this product's return just isn't high enough to bring it back. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you remember this gum? And if so, how many of you would like to see it brought back? Let me know down in the comments. Now, while tons of our favorite nostalgic snacks were getting swooped off store shelves, one new snack was swooping in. That's right, y'all. I'm talking about none other than the Reese's Swoops.
New Swoops from Hershey's. Irresistible curves that are bending the rules on how to eat chocolate. Swoops from Hershey's. It's swooping the nation.
Now this treat was truly unique. I mean, it was the true definition of chocolate cosplaying as a Pringle, and it quite literally gave a new meaning to the term chocolate chip. These wafer-thin chocolate chips were launched by the Hershey Company back in 2003. They came in convenient packaging that made them the ideal snack for school lunches or for anyone on the go who just wanted to satisfy that post-lunch sweet tooth. In addition to the Reese's flavor, they also came in flavors like Hershey's Milk Chocolate, Almond Joy, York Peppermint Patty, White Chocolate Reese's, and Toffee and Almond. They even had a catchy commercial that played off Tag Team's 1993 hit song, Whoop, There It Is.
Tag Team, back again. Whoop, there it is, Hitman.
These stuck around for about 3 years until they were ultimately discontinued back in 2006. Several reasons were cited as to why swoops were discontinued, one of which being the lack of product recognition, as findings from a 2004 market research study revealed that only 14% of people knew about the product despite the company's marketing efforts. In addition to that, people who had heard of them were confused on what the product actually was, as many assumed it was a chocolate-covered chip, when it was actually just a chocolate shaped like a chip, which some didn't quite understand the point of. Other reasons cited for their removal was everything from their high sugar content down to their lack of overall value, as each individually wrapped snack pack only contains 6 chips, making it worthwhile for many to just purchase a traditional candy bar instead. Needless to say, there were just way too many issues with this product to make keeping it around a logical choice.
Welcome back to my discontinued snack series, aka the Nostalgia series. These are Reese's Swoops, and if you don't remember these from the 90s or early 2000s, let me remind you. Their slogan was the snack that's swooping the nation, but unfortunately they didn't swoop for very long, considering they went onto the market in 2003 and then they were off in 2006, and according to the very trustworthy news site Wikipedia, only 14% of consumers actually knew what these were, but that commercial lived in my brain. And to give you a little context, in 2003, Finding Nemo had just come out, the iPod looked like this.
Despite these Choco chips being gone for nearly 2 decades, there is still to this day a select group of consumers who absolutely love these and would love for them to make a comeback. Unfortunately though, the odds of this happening anytime soon are looking pretty slim. As per a 2023 interview with the publication The Sun, a Hershey spokesperson stated, quote, "It's always great to see the love and enthusiasm for our products, but at this time there are no immediate plans for swoops to return." So I guess we'll just have to wait and see if the company ever changes their mind. But in the meantime, you can find TikTokers who've attempted to recreate their own versions of the nostalgic treat. Yet another snack that made its way into lunchboxes back in the day was Ritz Bits S'mores.
S'mores Ritz Bits sandwiches. Rich, chocolatey fudge. Smooth, creamy marshmallow. Slow slam between bite-sized graham crackers. New s'mores Ritz Bit sandwiches. More in the middle.
This snack took the mini Ritz Bits sandwich crackers with cheese that we all know and love and remixed them into something new. They were launched back in 2004 and featured the Ritz Bits mini crackers packed full of a filling that was half chocolate and half marshmallow flavored cream, making it a perfect choice for if you were teetering on the edge of wanting to snack on something that was salty, but also something that was sweet.
Spectacular. Give me 14 of them right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's in here?
I don't care. Don't tell me.
I am in a ranty mood this morning, so I want to talk about the bone I have to pick with Ritz crackers. I don't know how long it's been since Ritz stopped carrying this type of cracker, but I know for a fact they were so good that some of y'all are going to remember their s'mores Ritz Bits. First and foremost, y'all need to bring back the s'mores Ritz Bits flavor. I dream about the s'mores Ritz Bits like on a daily basis. I miss them like a long lost friend. I yearn for their return in my life, and I know you can make this happen for me. A fundamental, foundational, core childhood memory of mine is getting off the school bus, running home, grabbing my box of s'mores Ritz Bits, and sitting down to watch Cyber Chase on PBS because my family was one of those that did not have cable. I will put like a picture of the box and the crackers themselves. But listen, as a salty and sweet person, love me a salty and sweet snack, these Ritz Bits, I mean, the peanut butter and cheese ones that they still carry in stores are good, don't get me wrong. But these s'mores ones, with half their filling being like the chocolate and then half the filling being like a vanilla cream marshmallow vibe, paired with that slight salty butteriness of a Ritz cracker, it literally should have been illegal for them to stop carrying these in the US. With all that being said, them discontinuing this flavor, it's been a frustration of mine for years, probably a decade at this point.
These miniature s'more sandwich crackers were available for just over a decade until they were quietly discontinued around 2016. Ritz did decide to temporarily bring them back in 2022 in honor of National S'mores Day, but sadly, this s'mores flavored snack doesn't appear to be making a permanent comeback anytime soon. But hey, kudos to Ritz for at least branching out and trying something new. And speaking of kudos, we can't forget about Kudos bars.
Love the first bite, outrageously right. New Kudos granola snacks.
Now, Kudos bars were granola bars on steroids. Traditionally, granola bars were seen as a healthier alternative to other treats like candy. But Kudos said, forget all that, and they decided to not only dip their granola bars in a base of chocolate, but also sprinkle it with chocolate candy, and then last but not least, finish it off with none other than a drizzle of, you guessed it, chocolate. It was genius and was definitely a chocolate lover's dream. And once you realize that Kudos bars were a creation by none other than the chocolate manufacturer Mars Incorporated, it all suddenly made perfect sense. Mars debuted their new creation back in 1986, but it really gained popularity in the 90s and early 2000s. Although these were marketed as granola bars, we all knew it was really just a candy bar with a dash of oats added in just for funsies. Although these were really just candy bars in disguise, that's actually what people loved most about them. There were two versions of Kudos bars. They were initially launched in flavors like Nutty Fudge, chocolate chip, and peanut butter, and were fully chocolate dipped, and later expanded to include flavors like Snickers, M&M's, and Dove chocolate. With the emergence of the newer flavors, the bars got a makeover and were modified from being fully chocolate dipped to being dipped only at the base and then finished off with the chocolate drizzle.
Drizzle.
These bars were truly delicious, and they had a great run too, sticking around for a good 30 years before finally being axed in 2017.
Y'all, I was just watching Supermarket Sweep and I just had a flashback to one of my favorite products as a child. These Kudo granola bars, and anyone remember these? It was like Dove, M&M, Snickers. They were so good. Do they still make these?
Sorry. Okay. Kudos? They don't exist anymore. And they haven't existed for a while. I thought I just didn't eat them because I wasn't a kid anymore. I didn't think I didn't eat them because they didn't exist. They don't exist. And the reason I loved them as a child is because that was how I was allowed to eat a candy bar. Because it's a granola bar? No. These were candy bars, but under the disguise. And when I was a kid, they were a candy bar.
No official statement regarding the reason for the discontinuation was released, but there was speculation that the product may have started to struggle due to consumers again wanting to reach for healthier snack alternatives that were lower in sugar. There's no doubt that around the late 2010s, consumers were leaning into reaching for a more true granola bar when they were going for that healthier snack alternative. And when they were actually going to go towards the non-healthy alternative, many opted to just reach for a real candy bar. Since Kudos' departure, there's been no talk of it possibly returning by the company, but there are still discussions on a wide variety of online forums about how good they were and how people would love to see them make a return. Speaking of making a return, if you're a returning viewer here on this channel who hasn't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? And if this is your first time here and you're still enjoying the video, go ahead and hit the like button and consider subscribing for future videos. It's free and easy to do. Plus, it helps the channel out a lot too. Keeping fun content like this headed your way.
I appreciate you.
Yet another discontinued item that people would love to have back are those Fruitopia drinks. You guys remember these? Fruitopia beverages were introduced by the Coca-Cola Company under its Minute Maid umbrella back in 1994. They came in a wide range of flavors with interesting name choices like Strawberry Passion Awareness, Blueberry Watermelon Wisdom, Raspberry Psychic Lemonade, and more.
All seriousness, what happened to this drink? This was the best drink you can buy when I was in middle school. Man, you go get you some nachos and a Fruitopia, or some 2 slices of pizza and a fruit. What happened? I ain't seen this drink in forever. This was the best drink. Man, this drink stayed sold out. When you used to go to this machine, this drink stayed sold out. I think McDonald's used to have fruit. Was it McDonald's? Or Burger King? It's a fast food restaurant that used to have Fruitopia as a choice. Man. I need to find this. I need to find who. Yeah. They need to bring this back. This was the one. This was one of the ones. This was one of the ones.
Remember, Fruitopia was the best part of high school. It was everywhere. For those of you who don't know, Fruitopia was a non-carbonated fruit-based beverage created by the Coca-Cola Company. Pretty much, Fruitopia was delicious. They had an excellent marketing strategy and they poured a lot of money into Fruitopia. They even paid teenagers to drive across the country in a psychedelic school bus and hand out free bottles of Fruitopia. I mean, it was everywhere.
Yo, quick question. Y'all remember Fruitopia? Like, you were a middle schooler in the 90s and that drink had us feeling like we were sipping on the future. It came in a bottle with trippy colors and had names like Strawberry Passion Awareness and Lemonade Love. Like, who the fuck named these? A poet? A guidance counselor? And if you were a girl in the 90s, I know that your crush bought you one of these with their lunch money. But then one day, this shit was gone, like vanished. Almost like Blockbuster on a Tuesday. And the way Fruitopia was popping, I legit thought this was gonna be around forever. I saw people drinking this all the time. I'm telling you, this was the drink of slumber parties, bus rides, and sitting in the back of class cracking up at random ass kid jokes. Now we're adults, paying taxes, drinking water out of tumblers, acting like we're healthy. Coca-Cola, bring back Fruitopia so I can buy one for my wife the next time I take her on a date.
These fruit-flavored drinks were pretty popular, at least initially, and they could be found everywhere, from school vending machines down to drink stations and fast food chains all around the nation. With the success of the initial fruit drinks, the company decided to expand on their brand, releasing a Fruitopia tea line marketed in 16-ounce glass bottles, similar to their competitor Snapple, in an attempt to market the Fruitopia brand to a wider and more mature audience. Their popularity did begin to wane around the late 90s, and by the early 2000s, the brand was hanging on by a thread. These fruit-flavored drinks just had way too much competition in the beverage market. And with people reaching for a wide variety of other Minute Maid beverages, fruit juices, in addition to drinks like Snapple and Arizona teas, the Fruitopia brand truly didn't stand a chance. They ultimately ended up being phased out back in 2003, at least in the US, that is. Fruitopia drinks are reportedly still available in Canada though, So if you're willing to hop on a flight, you just may be able to find one. Now, if you wanted a salty and cheesy snack to enjoy alongside your Fruitopia back in the day, you may have reached for some Cheetos. But not just any Cheetos, oh no. The Twisted Cheeto Puffs.
Class, yo bones. Professor Cheeto. It's geometry time. Ooh, snackometry time. New Twisted Cheeto snacks. Deliciously twisted, dangerously cheesy.
Hey, hon, how was your day?
Twisted.
These Cheeto Puffs were launched by Frito-Lay back in 2002 and had a similar taste as the traditional puffs, but were now in a fun new corkscrew shape. Now some may say, what's the big deal, and argue that they were the same as the regular Cheeto Puffs, just with a different shape. But anyone who's ever tried these just knew that they hit different, even if it was just in our imagination. Comment down below if you agree. These Twisted Puffs not only gave us the qualities of the original Cheeto Puff that we know and love, but it gave us even more. The chips were super cheesy, and with all that powdery cheese seasoning falling into every spiral, they just screamed perfection. They stuck around for nearly a decade until they were sadly snatched off store shelves back in 2012, and the world will never be the same. Now, the loss of these chips really baffled many people, because they seemed to be a solid snack choice, and many people loved them.
If there is one snack that I could bring back from the dead, it would be this one. Where are the Cheetos Twisted Puffs? I need to know. These were so good.
I know y'all know about these. I know. Look, I don't know what it is about these Twisted Puffs that they discontinued for whatever reason, but I'm talking about these taste better than the crunchy ones, the regular puff ones. I don't know what they put in these ones that make these ones taste better than the original puffs, but these had me in a chokehold growing up. I'm talking about. But look, Cheetos, if you watching this, or whoever, know what I'm saying, who producing you right now, is it late? No, it ain't late. But look, that's besides the point. Y'all need to bring these back. Y'all need to bring these back. But if you know about these, you know. If you don't know about these, then look, I don't know what to tell you. You missed out on a good time. You missed out on a good time. And then to think about it, if you bring these back now, you can do these with the hot Cheetos too. Oh my. But what I'm saying, look, I'm talking about these were perfection in a bag. Perfection in a bag. I eat the whole bag in one sitting. I eat the whole bag in one.
Please tell me someone remembers the curly Cheetos. Like the big puffy ones that were twisted. Yesterday I was grocery shopping with my boyfriend and we walked in the chip aisle and I was like, it just hit me. I was like, oh my god, I miss those twisty Cheeto Puffs. I wonder why they don't have them anymore. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I pulled up this picture and he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never seen that. I loved these things when I was little. So I looked it up. I'm like, can you get the Twisted Cheeto Puffs? And it said they were discontinued in 2012. Like, maybe I didn't care about them that much since it's been 11 years. I swear I've thought about them before, but I just thought, like, I never saw them in the store anymore. Or since I moved to a different state, they didn't have them here. But they literally discontinued them. Does anybody else remember these? Or am I crazy? He said he has no idea what I'm talking about. And I feel like a snack like that, everybody would know about. Anyway, let's sign a petition to bring them back. I miss these guys. Like, these would be my guilty pleasure today. I could eat so many.
Similar varieties of the beloved snack are still available internationally, but they still remain but a memory in the States. However, as with most other snacks on this list, they too have a loyal fan base of people who have signed change.org petitions in hopes of bringing them back. But there's no word as of yet on whether or not the company will actually do it. So I guess we'll just have to hold on to hope that one day they will. Now, if you aren't one of the people grieving the loss of the Twisted Cheeto Puff, then maybe you miss an old school treat from Klondike instead. The Choco Taco.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
This treat featured a waffle cone shaped like a taco shell and was packed full of a fudge swirled vanilla ice cream, and to top it all off, the edges were dipped in chocolate and covered in peanuts for an added crunch. The Choco Taco was invented back in 1983 and was initially sold primarily via ice cream trucks and convenience stores. But by 1996, the sweet treat had finally hit grocery store shelves and had become widely available. It was a beloved nostalgic snack, especially on those hot summer days. And it was available for nearly 4 decades before it was discontinued back in 2022.
No one talk to me. No one talk to me. Do not even try to conversate with me right now. If you even try to have a conversation with me right now, I will literally like—
Bring back the Choco Taco! Bring it back! Bring it back!
I just have a few words with Klondike. Can you please bring back the Choco Taco? For the love of God, I will give up my firstborn. I need the Choco Taco. It was crunchy. It was delightful. It was perfect. It had the waffle, it had the chocolate, it had the ice cream, it had the nuts on top. What else do we need as people on this planet other than the Choco Taco? Why? Why did you discontinue? I have so many questions. Is everything okay over there? Are you okay? Is the facility okay? Why did you end this in 2022? What was happening in July? Oh wait, was it? Just bring it back. And no questions asked. Just bring it, the Choco Taco. Please.
According to the Associated Press, Klondike discontinued the product due to a sharp increase in demand across its other brands. As reportedly, a spokesperson for the company stated via email that, quote, "We've experienced an unprecedented spike in demand across our portfolio and have had to make very tough decisions to ensure availability of our full portfolio nationwide." They go on to say, "A necessary but unfortunate part of this process is that we sometimes must discontinue products, even a beloved item like the Choco Taco." Needless to say, this wasn't the response fans of the snack wanted to hear. Heck, the loss of the treat caused such a stir, it was even referenced in an episode of Rick and Morty.
Whoa, how long have we been asleep?
It can't be that long. Oh my god. No! They killed the Choco Taco!
The same year these were discontinued, a collaboration was announced with the popular fast food chain we all know and love, Taco Bell. Now this collab seemed to make perfect sense, and people were hopeful it would result in the permanent return of the beloved treat. But unfortunately, it was just for a limited time only and was only available in select Taco Bell locations in Milwaukee and SoCal in celebration of the fast food chain's 60th anniversary. And speaking of Taco Bell, for those of you who are new here or haven't seen the video yet, I did make a video about Taco Bell's most iconic releases over the years. So if you're a fan of Taco Bell, then that video is an absolute must-watch. I'll have it linked for you down in the pinned comment and up in the iCards if you want to check it out. Now in regards to the Choco Taco making a permanent return, there have still been whispers of the treat possibly making a comeback. But it's all just hearsay, and there's unfortunately been no clear indication that they actually will. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now last on this list, but certainly not least, are the Reese's Peanut Butter Bites. Now if you loved Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but wanted something more bite-sized and portable, then these were definitely the way to go. They were launched by Hershey back in the late 90s, and were bite-sized balls of chocolate-covered peanut butter.
I want to talk about this right here. Now, I know y'all remember these. Hold on. Look, I ain't even get a chance to get into the video and y'all got y'all hands out. That's how I knew y'all was begging for these. Every time y'all seen somebody with these Reese's Peanut Butter Bites, y'all had y'all hands out. I know I did. That's why I always had to buy me some. And man, I used to go ahead and knock these back right here. These right here, you can't, like, I don't care, they can say it got the same ingredients as the peanut butter cups, but it ain't hit the same. It hit better. It hit better when you had these right here. When you had the peanut butter bites, oh my goodness. Take them things and you shake them up like this and pop them in your mouth like you'll do some Skittles or some lemon heads. This right here, man. This was an addiction right here. These right here bigged your back before we even talked about bigging your back. They need to bring these back.
Okay, so I was born in 1999 and I grew up eating these as a kid, but they don't exist anymore. Why? Like, I used to eat them at the movies and like put them in the freezer and they were so good. Like, am I the only one who remembers these? Or am I going crazy? So Reese's, do you think you could bring them back?
After launching the Reese's flavor, the company later expanded to include Hershey's with almond bites, Hershey's pretzel bites, Hershey's cookie bites, and more. They were a great choice for snacking everywhere from parties to movie nights, and it seemed like they would stick around for the long haul. But alas, these too were taken off store shelves back in 2007. The reason this time being cited is parents being concerned over the candy being a choking hazard. The removal of the nostalgic treat upset many people, and to this day they are still reminiscing about how good they were. Petitions too have been made and signed, but all to no avail. So I guess we'll have to just stick to enjoying all the other Hershey's products that are still available. Now there's no denying that these snacks hold tons of nostalgia and were our childhood favorites, and although they're gone, they're most certainly not forgotten. And this is by no means an exhaustive list either, as there are tons more discontinued snacks I could dive into. But I think I'll stop here, because I really want to hear from you guys. Which discontinued snack from this list do you want back the most? Let me know. Also, let me know any other discontinued snacks that you'd like me to cover, and they just might be chosen for a future video. If you enjoy this type of content and are hungry for more, check out my foodie playlist where I dive into everything from the fan fave discontinued fast food items down to interesting food origins and more. I'll leave a link for it down in the pinned comment and up in the iCards. If you found this video educational or entertaining, it would be
delightful, really delightful.
If you would like, share, and hit that subscribe button for more content.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
As always, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, keep learning.